Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Aaron Smith, and I'm the CEO of the Energy and Environmental Building Alliance. I'm joined by Nancy Bakeman as well. And we have a topic that's near and dear to my heart today. I am an Army veteran, as many of you know, and our EBA Next Gen Scholarship Fund is really targeted to help diversity minority candidates, students, and veterans in transition. So today we're going to talk about how to hire and retain veteran talent in our industry. And we're really pleased to be joined by Joseph Molina, who's the CEO of the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Joseph, welcome.
Thank you very much, Aaron and Nancy, for the invitation. And it's really a pleasure to work with you. We got a few emails back and forth, and it is a pleasure. So I wanted to just thank you for this opportunity. And as the National Veterans Chamber, our goal is to do two things: bring opportunities and resources to veterans, whether it's jobs, careers, employment, entrepreneurship, and also bring veterans to the community. We like to give back to the community as well. So our membership are very involved in within their communities that where we all live. So those are the kind of the two sides of the chamber. But our main objective, our main goal is to, or basically our mission is to provide resources, of course, like any other chamber, but our mission is to work with organizations and individuals who have programs and projects that bring a positive impact to the veteran community and the communities we live in. And we do this, again, through designing, developing, and implementing programs that will achieve that goal. We have 5 core areas of service. Here on the slide is the 3 that are the ones that we're covering today that are listed on the slide, which is employment, business or self-employment, and entrepreneurship. One of the things that we as veterans face when we transition is what we call the misplace of the compass, or a loss of purpose. A kind of our foundation is shaken because we leave when we leave the military. This happens to most of us, not everyone, of course, but happens to a lot of us. So when we get out, we are searching for that purpose. We're searching for that particular sense of belonging, that sense of identity, and we as we move forward, and especially those who are that have families, as we're trying to provide for our families, we started that search. As we were in the military is kind of easy in that way because everything is laid out. We identify, we know who we are, we know what we do, we have a purpose, we have a mission. So everything is pretty simple in that sense. It's nothing simple about being in, but in that sense, it's simple. We get it, we know it. As we get out, it's like having a blank canvas and says, now you decide your path. And that designing your path is not really well received for someone who has so much structure, who's been in so much structure for a long time. So be basically militarized, institutionalized in that sense. So it's very difficult to create that free-flowing environment. But thankfully, there is organizations like the National Veterans Chamber and many others, many others who are, their main mission is to help those people transition. One of our so that's kind of our purpose. So here on this slide, we want to tell you what we believe. So we believe in the family approach. We're not your typical chamber. We believe in the focus of the family. So we welcome the veterans, active duty, spouses, parents, and children of the veteran or the active duty. Again, we work as one family, and we function as one unit. Again, what we do is design, develop, and implement programs and projects that support the veteran, the military community, or military families. The main areas, as I mentioned before, is entrepreneurship, employment, education, wellness, family, and faith. Those are kind of our main cores. All the programs that we have, that we implement, fall within those categories. Now, as I mentioned earlier, once while in the military, we have the ability to be set up as leaders. So we have responsibilities, we have accountability for others. Almost automatically, we're given responsibility to supervise other people, to lead other people. Now, I understand, and everybody knows, management or supervisor is different than leadership. And I can explain that later. But for now, just the sense that almost everyone in the military has given responsibility to either manage or supervise individuals and or assets like equipment and things like that. So everyone who was in the military or who's been in the military has those skills. But what happens when we get out? When we get out of the military, when we get out and we go in and go into the civilian market and start looking for jobs, we kind of don't think about that. I didn't think about that. So we start looking for jobs that fit our skill, our doing skill. And that's it. We don't really think about the possibility of becoming leaders in those organizations to contribute and help support employees based on the leadership skills. But so that's something that as a chamber, the program that we have is helping those transitioning, or those who've been out, but those transitioning, to understand that those leadership skills that we acquire while in the military are extremely welcome in the civilian world. But in order for us to use the military skills or leadership skills, we must translate those into a civilian environment. It's not the same. It's not the same leading or managing soldiers in this case than there is to managing and leading employees in corporate America. It's way different. So when we take on this veterans or transition military, we take them through this process on how to be a manager as a civilian. So we use the skills that we learn in the military and we translate those not just in words, but in action. The mindset changes, how we see it changes, how we feel about it changes, and our belief changes. Because all those three things have to be in line in order for someone to be a good leader, a good supervisor. A good supervisor who just knows how to give orders and just tell people what to do, as what we know as the macro manager, will, for the most part, push employees away from that job. Even when they're really good at what they do, they will push them away. So having a supervisor who understands and has the mindset, has the emotions and the beliefs, and they behave like a leader, then employees tend to connect with them. They become more like a magnet to that individual. And that's really what this program is about. And also that's how employers, as we're talking with this organization, as employers become more aware of how to welcome the transition military or the veteran, and being able to onboard them into this type of positions, and then we prepare them for them to become an excellent supervisors, people who have the military skills, leadership skills, but also understand, feel, believe how to supervise, empower the civilian employee. We understand that, and one of the things that we teach is leadership is by inspiration, not by direction. So leadership is by inspiration. The more the leader learns how to inspire others, it will be able to impact, motivate, help them self-motivate, and of course, follow their, and to help them thrive through the process. Those are kind of a little snippets of what the program is about. So this is what we call the next job as a supervisor, or what we call the first time manager program, are key components on how to welcome, retain, and help thrive those transition military to their jobs. Most veterans who land jobs, and I did them myself, we may like the job, but usually supervisors and management don't really know how to deal with us, don't really know how to deal with that. And many times people leave their jobs, even if they like the job, because of the supervisor they have or the managers that they have. So being the right supervisor, knowing how to empower employees is key, not just for veterans who coming in with looking for that purpose, that sense of purpose, that identity, and for them to enjoy that new job, that new work that will give them the same sense of purpose, the same sense of belonging that they had in the military in the new job. So those are key components on how to attract and retain employees on the job. Now, the National Veterans Chamber evaluates, works with, helps employers identify those key components, those key onboarding components on how to talk to potential applicants, how to bring them on board, so do the onboarding process, how to set up groups within the organization that support those veterans, how to create a mentorship program within the company so those who are supervisors, veterans or not, are able to have a peer-to-peer conversation and be able to identify the best practices, be able to solve issues. As managers, we all have the same issues. Whether we are supervisors, manager level, or CEOs, we have the same issues. So having the ability to communicate with each other on an open kind of small group situation is key. We want answers, but as a supervisor, who are you going to go talk to? You know, who are you going to go in and ask those questions when you have issues? Like CEOs, who are we going to talk to? We're going to go and talk to anybody like that. So there is CEO groups that we get together and we talk to each other, supervisors the same way. So it is important as organizations create that sense, that culture of like a welcoming culture for these veterans and non-veterans alike, to feel supported by the organization and provide them the support they need as they grow into that management position. We really focus on first-time managers for a very key process, a very key point. First-time managers are eager to do a good job. Oh my gosh, they're like sponges. They want to learn everything you give them. They want to implement everything. So first-time managers are great people to bring on board because they have the desire, they have the passion, and they just need a little bit of help on implementing the skills. And that's easy. One thing that we know is that we can teach someone to be a supervisor by skills. That's fine. But we cannot teach someone how to be motivated as a supervisor. They have to come like that already. Someone who is willing to work with people, support people, who have a kind of servant mentality, who have the desire to help others thrive in the organization and to keep them motivated. We're not, the supervisors who are on the other side of the equation, who are just basically finger pointing people, who like tell people what to do and don't talk back and take it or leave it and that kind of stuff, is really detrimental to the organization, because we understand that it costs a lot of money to train supervisors. It costs a lot of money to maintain those salaries. So it is basically also part of the bottom line. If you have quality supervisors, you will have quality employees. If you have committed supervisor, you will have more engaged employees. That's kind of how the formula works. So the National Veterans Chamber does a simple, quick assessment on what the organization has and what it could have in order to meet this criteria as we call the veteran-friendly, veteran-ready, and also veteran-preferred. This is just 3 levels. We start always with a veteran-friendly. Are you interested in bringing transition military to your organization? How do you do that? How do you promote? What's the lingo? How can you how do you translate? Where can you find them? The second part is the veteran-ready employee or employer. These are employers who are more involved in the process, and they are interested on developing even more process into how to bring it to the table. And the veteran prefer, these are employers who have already experienced a year or more through the process. And this is just basically a recognizing, celebrating employer. We want to recognize them.
Joseph, is there training that potential employers of veterans can go through your organization to earn these designations?
Yes, there is for the employers, it's a self-designation program. So once they become members and they receive that self-designation program, then they can go through this 3 steps and then go through, like I said, the veteran-friendly process, ready and preferred. So they go through the process, and it's more of a training, is coaching, because we believe that coaching is a hands-on approach. Every company is different. Every company has different goals, different objectives, and so, but it's more one-on-one approach than just a class. Now, there is a training for the individuals who, let's say your company has individuals who are key employees, and they could be good managers. But before you promote, train. Before you promote, make sure they go through the training. And that's what the training that we have is there. And we train them on how to coach people, how to give orders correctly, how to communicate, how to meet one-on-one with employees, how to reduce friction, how to motivate people, understand why people work, all those delegation, empowerment. We take into the whole process, and at the end, they get a certificate from the Veterans Chamber University. They get a certificate of completion for doing that. And so yes, that's totally available. So those 2 things are available through the chamber.
Great. Joseph, we have Renee Carter joining us now.
Awesome.
Renee?
Okay.
So
thank you. Here. Hi. Sorry, you guys.
That's all right.
Hi, Renee.
Renee, do you want to do a quick intro of yourself?
Yes, please, Renee.
Yes, thank you. So I'm Renee with Refocus Business Consulting. I help unite businesses with tax credits. So we're business tax credits from employee retention credits, research and development, work opportunity tax credits, and so on. So there's a whole box of that. And then I also help bring programs such as professional employer organization programs, PEOs. So you'll hear of some of the top tier ones out there, of your Trinets, your Insperities and whatnot. And there's about 900 of them out there. And I actually work with a big portion of these PEOs. So not all PEOs fit each company. And that's what I do. And I know we got to get in a little bit more to what a PEO is. We're talking everything all under one umbrella: your HR, your payroll, your benefits, one-stop shop, low cost. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you, Renee. And Renee will be covering all those amazing things. And Renee's company and the National Veterans Chamber, we're collaborating in this process because, as Renee will explain, every veteran comes with a check, kind of, right? So employers can take advantage of that and many other aspects. And you may see some companies, I mean, just to mention one, nothing to mention, it's just an observation or mention, nothing specific, but you see like 7-Elevens and our experts are bringing people through tax credits. So they know how to do this. They've done it for many, many, many years. But that's what Renee does. So Renee will be able to work with companies within the organization to help them maximize the tax credits. Just to mention one is the veteran tax credit. So again, every time you hire a veteran, you know you're gonna get paid back. So I'm gonna let that talk, just I have a few more slides to go, and then I'm gonna pass it on to Renee so she can cover her section.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. So one of the things that we also do as a chamber is we go out and purchase full-blown media. And then we basically break it down and offer it to our chamber members, organizations and businesses if they want to promote their programs. This is just one example. Homeland Magazine goes to over 3 million views. It's a huge magazine, very popular within the military community. And so we have a page there that we basically make sections of that page available for a much lower cost. Like, if you know how much the page costs, you have an idea how much you're saving. So, it's thousands of dollars to purchase a page, which luckily we have sponsors, but any business can actually purchase a section of that page for, just, $120 or whatever section they want. This is just an example. We also have a radio show. If you have positions that you want to promote, if you have anything that your company wants to showcase and make the community aware, then we can bring you on the show and give your company an opportunity to do that. And I just went out of my presentation, but I was done. So Renee, with that being said, I'm gonna pass it on to you so you can talk about the programs that you're offering, and then we'll come back with questions.
Perfect. Thank you. And do we have the slides up for that piece of the presentation?
We do not.
Okay, so I'm going to have to wing it a little bit. So sorry,
Yes.
you guys, technical difficulties on the side. So just really in a nutshell, what we do is we're helping small businesses. I've been helping small businesses for almost 20 years now in different capacities. And so I understand the challenges that small businesses have, and especially within the last year and a half. And programs that have been out there that's been existing. We help to connect businesses to those programs, in addition to the ones that are now open due to the CARES Act when we're talking about employee retention credits. So really what it's about, I'm going to talk about business tax credits and then just give a summary of that. There's many of them out there. So what we like to do here is first have a conversation with the business owner to see what it is they do, because there's certain programs that would be applicable more to a manufacturer than different to what a restaurant owner would have. So we try and differentiate and figure out, okay, well, based on what it is you do in your industry, these are the type of programs that we should look into to see if you qualify for, therefore getting more money back in your pocket. What a lot of people don't understand is that there are so many programs out there, but they just don't know how to get access to them. They may have heard it on a chamber meeting or within a networking group, and it sounds great, but then you go back to work and you get caught up in the minutia of what you do. And so that's what I do. So I go in and I sit down with the business owner and I say, okay, let's sit down, let's look at it. Let me do the work. Let me do the heavy lifting. Let me help you get all the documents so you can concentrate on what you do best while I'm in the background trying to find which programs will find you the most money. So really sitting down with me, having that conversation, I can go through and hone in on what one works best for you. And then I help you with the application process.
And Renee, we do have your slides on the screen. So,
wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So again, as this is what we do with Refocus Business Consulting. We work with PEOs and we work with the tax credit. So for here, we have the employer benefit programs. So really, if you're not familiar with the PEO, what a PEO does is if you as a business owner, you have your payroll company, you have the brokers you work with, you might have an HR assistant or somebody you hire in, an attorney, which is all great, but everything is pretty much disconnected. And in that, it's, as a business owner knows, efficiency is key. Having a one place to go and not having to go to different places, having information systems all talk to the same system, everything from benefits to risk assessment. So especially in construction, There are PEOs out there that want or look for your industry, look for a construction industry or a specialized manufacturer. And what they do is they help to reduce risk. They are able to go in and they're able to take a look at what's going on and OSHA. When you have OSHA come in, they're coming in to make sure you're OSHA compliant. Because what happens with the PEO is that you're partnered with them. So you're no longer Construction ABC out there, you're Construction ABC partnered with a PEO. So say you have an incident at work and you have an employee with an issue, let's say a comp issue. PEOs, what they'll do is they'll work together with you because you are on their policy. So you're not out there on your own. Because you're on their policy, they're going to make sure that whatever's going on is going to be investigated, and they're going to fight it because you're partnered with this company because they don't want to have any bad claims or whatnot on there. So they partner with you. Same with benefits. Some of these PEOs carry benefits where you're now are able to tap into their benefit plan. A lot of companies aren't able to provide medical because it's just so expensive. Well, some of these PEOs will offer ancillaries. So at least you have dental, vision, you have family care help, the list goes on, and all your employees have to do is tap into it. You're not having to manage the programs. So really a PEO is a single source solution. From everything from your HR, your payroll, your benefits, it's an all-in-one. And there are companies out there that are very competitive to the open market that look for businesses of what the construction manufacturing do. So the next one is on the business tax credits, like I went over earlier. Employee retention credits. So really what that, I'm going to talk about that one a little more than the others because right now through the CARES Act, through the rest of the year, this one's the hot program. Really what you're able to do if you can qualify for it is that for the year 2020, it's $5,000 per employee that you would get back through credit through your payroll taxes. And for 2021, it's $7,000 per employee per quarter. Now that's full-time employee, and there is certain parameters you need to meet within that, but that's a lot of money. So if you take your 2020 through, say, the rest of this year, you're looking at $33,000 per employee. So if you had any sort of an effect due to a shutdown, due to COVID or anything like that, that's the hot program right now. I'm telling everybody I speak to, let's first look at that, and then we can look into the other programs. And then the next one next to that, it's research and development. You have cost segregation, as you see, energy tax deductions, which will be a big one coming up here. There's training credits. Like I said, there's a laundry list, but for this meeting, I just really want to hone in on that employee retention credit. If you haven't looked at it, we can look at it for no cost. Doesn't cost you anything to work with me to get some figures together to figure out if you even qualify for how much, and then we can help you process the rest. So really, like it says on there, free consultation if you want to just spend about 30 minutes with me and we can have a brief conversation and seeing what you qualify for. You know, if you're looking for something in that HR area with the PEOs, or if you're looking for those tax credits, we sit for 30 minutes, we put down a plan, and we see what we can do for you.
Renee, which of the programs are more, if we're interested in hiring veterans into our organization? Is that the work opportunity tax credits?
Work opportunity tax credits for sure. So and it depends on the veteran. So there is some parameters in there. So they can be anywhere from $2,600 up to over $9,000 per veteran hire. The key is you have to do it right at the beginning. So if you want to look into a WOTC program, it has to be right at the application process. But that's very beneficial.
So again, if we look to hire more veterans, probably best to talk to you, get that set at the beginning, take advantage of the WOTC credits, and then Joseph really looking at becoming an employer ready,
right,
hitting those different levels,
right,
tying into the Veterans Chamber of Commerce training for the employers. but also then training our veteran employees through that supervisor program. And I know you have many, many other great training courses. You have some leadership training courses
Right.
available through your organization.
Yes,
And
that would be part. That would be
yeah,
a key, a nice flow. We can kind of create a flow like you were talking, Aaron. When they start, so they get the benefits of hiring the veteran. When we can start with Renee and then and start working once that becomes approved, what else we can do so we can work with organizations so they have a plan in place on how you're going to hire these veterans, how you're going to retain them, what kind of training to offer, because the training is also paid for, through, and Renee will help us with that. We can train
Yeah.
the new hires and doesn't have to cost the company much. So it is offset through tax credits
Yes.
drastically. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we can work and develop that flow. That way, everyone comes in through the same gate, and we can help the companies maximize that. And I also got your chat about the home builders. That's what is most, and that's the other part. This is from the job career side of it, and then the other part is the once the homes get built, connecting with the chamber and the Housing for Heroes program. So our real estate, we have a real estate network that is nationwide, and being able to connect the builder with veteran-friendly agents so they can start supporting the veteran community. And because home ownership for anybody, but we want to promote that to veterans, is key, because home is family. I mean, it's basic. Home's family, family's culture, culture is nation. It's just like, it just want that. If we have focused, stable homes, we have focused, stable nation. And that's, so we want to help with that. And that's why we created the Housing for Heroes program.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Joseph, can you talk a little bit more? EBA is now a member of the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Can you talk about how that EBA membership can benefit our individual members across the country?
Yes. So what the Chamber does, develops collaboration and partnership with organizations and individuals. In this case, with you is the organization. Now, automatically, everyone who is part of your organization is also is also meet the criteria to become a member of the chamber, almost automatically. And one thing that we do to support each other organizations is that we share our membership with your membership. So your membership has a potential to expand. Our membership has a potential to expand. So anyone so we basically collaborate that way. So anyone who is a member of your organization can, by just simply giving them the link that we gave you, they can create their profile and get their membership with the chamber. And again, there's no cost to the organization, and there's no cost to any one of your members. Do the members have to be veterans or military connected? They don't. So the idea is to support, again, we support communities, and the communities support veterans. So that's a great partnership. So we want to honor that. So yes, this is a veterans chamber. Our veterans receive the membership, but also people who support veterans, we want to honor that as well. Not everyone is a veteran, not everyone is connected, but so many people love veterans, and we want to honor that. So that's why we open the membership to go both ways. The other part is discounts. I mean, discounts is great for everybody. And like one of the discounts we were talking about is promotion. So we have the deals with the magazine. So if your members want to promote their listings and things like that, we have the magazine available. We have the newsletter available. We have the radio show available. We also connected with military bases. So they can promote their listing at certain military bases where we have MOUs with. So those are the main ones that we do. Plus, we also do, let's say you have a member who is going to create a development or a housing development or project, and they want more traffic to their site. we actually create the landing page for that particular member. And you that being a member, we can give huge discounts just to cover our cost. And then that landing page will have tremendous amount of traffic. Our website gets a lot of traffic. So just by being a landing page, then they have the traffic. Then it's their job to basically close the deals, but we get them the traffic. So traffic is key. And we do that through social media and to website promotion.
Great. And could builders use that program if they're looking to hire people? You know, and again, maybe it's advertising to veterans who are in transition and looking to come to a career in private industry.
Yes.
They could do something like that as well, Joseph?
Absolutely, yes. We and that's one of the things that we have, and we have a specific director who focuses on just getting transition people jobs.
Right.
So once you say, hey, Joe, I have these companies who want to hire veterans, I'll put you in contact with Robin, and then Robin will basically make sure that those jobs get promoted correctly, and then they will get applicants. But one thing that is also very important, because everything is about strategy, not just about pushing things out. One of the strategies, what we call this employers on campus or employers on site. So let's say you have a company who wants to hire 3 or 5 people. So what we do is basically work with that company and then bring that company to a location, virtual, most likely. And then we partner with universities and colleges to bring that opportunity to their students who are also veterans or are interested on that. So that's an easy thing to do. And we've done that for many years. And we call that employers on campus, because that's really where we start, on campus or employers on base. But the other part of it, which I would like for you to also, think about and put it on, again, the strategy is to looking ahead. So if you have a company who say, I'm going to be growing in the next 6 months, so don't wait until the night before and say, hey, give me some people by Monday. So we would love to start, and there's no cost for this. We'd love to start with a strategy with them, because there's people interested in the construction business. There's a lot of, and as we know, getting people to work in the construction, not because not because people don't want to, it's because there's so many jobs available that they're hard to fill, So we can work through schools, through colleges, through high schools, through military bases, and start gathering people so they can start going through the process, either through internships or either union. That's gotta be different, but if they're non-union, it's easier, of course. But if they're union, then we can go through the process of the union. But just as a project, as a school project, so that way they get to test drive what the job looks like. They get to do that. I did that through college in roofing, and it was hard. It was hard. It was hot, but I love that. I love that. So giving the same opportunity to others. So we just got to create programs that are the creative flow, a systematic flow. So again, we're not struggling like on Friday trying to find someone on Monday. We want to create a flow, a system, and putting all these resources together, including what Renee has to offer, and how we can set it up together. That way, the people come in and they want to be hired, then we pass it on to Renee, so Renee can do the process. So all this can be done in partnership with you, so we can set it up and do it. One thing that we do at the chamber, we think about a program, we develop it, and we implement it. We really don't politicize anything. We just do it. Right, Renee?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right.
Well, I think it's great advice for all of you out there looking to hire and retain veterans is get a call into Renee and her team. You can't beat free help. And then you can't beat free money from the government for hiring veterans. So that's number one. Number two is get plugged in with the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. We've got the EBA membership. You can get a sub membership through that. Get plugged into their great training programs, their great opportunities to outreach to veterans in your community. And then the last thing I'd say is we've got the EBA veterans membership, and we have scholarships available to veterans in transition. We have additional training programs that they can take around high performance building, and there's certifications that they can earn. So let's create a pathway. Let's all go out and commit to hiring great veterans and working with this great team that we've put together. So any final thoughts, Joseph and Renee?
Yes, one thing before, and then I'll pass it on to Renee and wrap it up, is like all those certificates and programs that you have available in your organization for the veteran members, would like to mimic those and house them also under the Veterans Chamber University. And so they also get a certificate from you, and they got a certificate from university.
Fantastic.
The more is better.
Yeah, great.
And
Renee?
thank you very much, Aaron.
Oh, thank you, Joseph. Renee?
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron, for having Joseph and I on here. My passion is for veterans. I thank you for all of your service. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And so if I can have any sort of way to help find some money to help make their lives a little easier in the business world, I'm excited to work with everybody. So just thank you for having us on the show, and apologize for those technical difficulties as well.
It happened.
No worries.
All right.
Great. Well, thanks, everyone.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Renee.
Thank
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.